Welcome to Buenos Aires, Argentina, and the headquarters of InvGate. I am honored to be joined by some of my esteemed colleagues here, and we're going to cover some of the philosophy, thinking, and work that goes into building, implementing, and expanding an amazing ITSM experience for customers, agents, managers, and other stakeholders. In terms of introductions, we'll start with Mercedes Meche Picollo. Meche is best known at InvGate for her implementation efforts with clients as part of the sales engineering and professional services teams. Next, we have Fede Pepe Teixido. And Fede has been working on the customer success team, helping customers extract the most value out of their investment with us. Last, and certainly not least, we have Pablo Vergne. Pablo has a long history with InvGate, dedicated to the development of the product. And if you were at our most recent user conference, you probably saw Pablo talking about features already. Okay, now we can get started. Yes, excellent. Okay, so let's start with build. To me, the most important question is, who do we build for? And what does the scope of who we build for look like and change like while we're building?
Well, that's a big challenge for us. Since we are moving from IT service management to enterprise service management, there's a challenge with who we build a product for, right? We have end users that it's quite different to managers, right? Because you need to define a kind of experience where everything it's very easy, and they want to spend just a few minutes doing their own task, right? On the other hand, you have like an IT manager or a finance manager where they need to organize work and they need to supervise what is going on and what's happening with all the tasks and tickets they have. So the experience are very different, right? For one side, we have the end users, then we have the agents, and then we have the managers. Mm-hmm. And after all that, you have the administrators, right? They need to spend most of their job doing the configurations of the product. You need to make them know very complex things in a very easy way, right? So that's our big challenge there.
Okay, we'll get more into that in a minute.
Awesome.
But for now, I want to talk about implementation. So Meche, what is the most common problem that people are trying to solve? Like, why do they come to us in the first place?
Lots of reasons, honestly. But I think what they want to do is get things organized. Like when they come to us, they usually, at least people that don't use an ESM or an ITSM solution, they see that they have a lot of different parties involved in a process, and they don't know how to put that together and build something constructive with that. Okay, a lot of information is missed. A lot of processes are delayed because of that. So I guess that's the main reason, right? Like trying to give a structure to their day-to-day work.
Yeah, that's awesome. That's a great answer, because that really is it, right? It's the struggle of how do we collaborate, and then I really like how you pointed out, we don't want to drop the ball, right? We're just trying to make things easy and make us look like pros, right? Okay, now let's talk about success. Sure. Tex. What do you think is the benefit like of a fully implemented solution? Like when someone, what are the outcomes that they're expecting once they get it in place?
Of course, it depends on the solution. I mean, our solution is totally focused on being easy to use and adaptable for any KPI that any customer may have. That's basically what we aim for. So I think that from the implementation, we expect to cover any KPI that the customer may have and to provide them whatever consulting they may need.
So if an organization says their key performance indicator or KPI is to lower costs, then that's what we're looking at.
That's what, I mean, we have two strong, I think, we have as a company, we have two strong points. One of them is the tool, because we have the perfect tool in order to adapt and being easy to adapt to any KPI. And then we have a great group of consultants that they basically know how to drive the customer into fulfill the KPIs.
I love that. I love how you think of it like consultants, because that really
that's what we are.
Yeah, that's what we are.
Totally.
Yeah. So one of the terms that I hear people use at conferences is this phrase, coded into a corner. And the the concept really is that they customize and customize and customize to the point where they can't actually innovate anymore. And so how do we keep the solution simple but still provide lots of value?
Well, everything we build, we take into consideration many years beyond, right? Every time we think something, we need to like extrapolate what will happen in the following years with that specific feature, so you can take the decisions that will allow you in the future to build more things, right? So you don't take decisions that will create like a kind of Frankenstein in the product. That's the word. So because every time you put a brick above the other one, everything needs to be straight, right? So I guess that the trick there is to understand the problems. Don't just focus on the solutions, right?
I love it. It's such a good answer because so often, especially in engineers, we see a problem and we propose a solution. I think it's really challenging actually to just be comfortable understanding the problem or not understanding the problem and being comfortable like exploring that further. So great answer. And I would love, Mechi, for you to answer the next question, which is really like, how long do implementations usually take, and what is usually like the big challenge that they're trying to get over?
Well, of course, the first quick answer is it depends, right?
Yeah.
It depends a lot on the size of the implementation, and it also depends on the time that the team has, the customer's team has to spend on the solution, right? On the project. But I guess if I had to say a number, like a normal sized account, it's pretty fast. I mean, it depends on the solution, of course. It depends on ESM or asset management solution. But I guess I'll say like 2 months. But honestly, I think it's not about how much time.
Yeah.
It's more about how the process should be to get it done on time.
Yeah,
Right.
like don't focus on getting it done quickly if what you're trying to change needs more work. Okay, so let's talk customer success again. That phrase in and of itself is interesting, right? Yeah. So like you talked about KPIs earlier and how we're trying to help them reach those KPIs. What is the ultimate success? What is the best service management success look like to us?
Gotcha. So customer success basically is the discipline to add value constantly to the customer in order to make them evolve. I mean, objectives are never done. Like
Right.
you always have these new goals, these new ambitious goals, but you have to keep adding value in order to make them evolve, let's say.
Yes, yeah. If their KPI is to lower costs, eventually they get to that cost level where they start feeling comfortable.
Yeah.
And then you as consultants are saying, look, beyond cost, now add value on top of that.
Yeah, we have just to keep going and keep
Yes.
finding value on the solutions. I mean,
Exactly.
that's the best thing that we can do as a company, but much more as customer success, let's say consultants.
Yeah, exactly. I love that. Okay, build. Let's say that I'm a customer, Pablo.
Okay.
I'm paying for the software and I want a feature. Number one, can I build it myself? And number two, how do I suggest to our company that it be put into the tool?
Well, first of all, don't think it as a feature, right? Think about the problem you need to solve. So commonly tools, our tools especially, they have this kind of API, right? So if it's a matter of integrations, I need to put this specific data set into another tool, think about using APIs or creating middleware. So that's something that you can build by your own, right? Second, just try to figure out if with the features you have, you can find a workaround, right? Yeah. So commonly, you don't need to build something new to solve the problem you have, right? Just you need to think about the problem, not the solution. And finally, if at the end you need to create a feature, I guess the best way to put it is explaining to your customers what's going on, what you need to solve, which are your KPIs, right? And then it's about prioritizing and all the complex things related to how we prioritize features, right?
Yeah. So how does that happen? I think that's what I want to know
Well-
is like, you've got a list of 100 features. How do you know which ones to do?
Well, actually, there are thousands.
Okay, yes.
So the complexity grows a lot, right? So if you need to create a product that scales, you need to think about the future, right? So it's very important the cost, the impact, and the why, right? Why are you doing this? Is this something strategic to the company? Is that something strategic to our product? So I guess those are the three pillars that we use to take those decisions.
Makes sense. Makes sense. I love it. Okay, so implementation. I hear nightmare stories all the time, like I said, at conferences. Mechi, what is the secret? What are your hacks for an easy or smooth implementation?
So I guess it's just about keeping track. Okay, we internally in the implementations team, we have this, what we call the implementation tracker, where we track everything that the customer wants to do on our first session. It's like, okay, we're going to define the scope in this tool. Then we're going to start tracking what you already did, what you are doing, and what's next, right?
Yeah.
And finally, we take that information and turn it into KPIs to feed the customer success team with that.
The
Okay.
synergy that she was talking about is, I think is the key of this process, like the success of the customer, let's say, because from the build team, the product team to the implementations team and the customer success team, we have to be aligned in order to know, let's say, what the customer needs. So the KPIs that they are hearing about are going to define what we do with those KPIs and what does the product team do, let's say, with the new features focus on that customer, on every customer. So we working as a team is the key in order to get the success of the customer.
You just brought up something I didn't even think about.
Yeah.
How you two have to deal with everything that he's launching.
That's a nightmare. That's a nightmare.
New features, you have to implement them now. New features, all your customers are going to ask about them.
And he has to deal with our requirements.
And then you will go back to him
Yeah.
and yell at him.
That's the worst part. Yeah.
That's the worst part. You say it.
Pepe, I'm implementing and operating. How do we know what to do next? Like, I get my service desk set up, stuff's humming, we're not dropping the ball anymore. I can kind of see my IT inventory or whatever inventory I'm trying to track. How do I know what my next innovation should be?
So these adding values and success concepts are kind of abstract if you don't build processes, right? Yeah. So if you don't build processes and methods in order to scale whatever you are doing, then it's not going to work, right? Yeah. So basically we have from the implementations team and the product team and the customer success team, we have processes and instances in which we as a customer success team set new objectives with the customer, right? Mm-hmm. For example, the handoff from implementations to the customer success team, we have a sprint 2 and a sprint 3 of the Agile implementation tracker. And that means we have projects to develop. Still, we have projects to develop. And then we make QBRs every quarter in order to set goals with the customer. So we keep evolving in order to, let's say, have new and bigger objectives, to keep adding value to whatever direction this project is coming.
So you're buying more than a product.
You're buying service and product.
Yeah.
That's what we are as a company. Success as a company is not just a product. The product is amazing.
Yeah.
But if you don't have the right specialists that know about the product, then you don't have the right people to, let's say, fulfill the KPIs of the customer.
Yeah. Love it. Such great answers. I want to thank you all for your time today. Thanks for being here. And if you like what you heard, remember that our solutions can help you achieve a smooth operation, compliance for your devices, and a great experience in service and support. Because good service is good business.